Trying to grind without rest is like trying to drive a Formula One car without fuel. You look great in the driveway, but you're not going anywhere. An F1 car does not win the race because it never stops. That car blows up. It wins because it has the most efficient pit stop. Sleep is your pit stop. If you skip the pit stop, the wheels fall off. Stop looking at sleep as the thing that gets in the way of your success. Sleep is the success. Sleep is the performance enhancer. Sleep is the steroid, and sleep is therapy. There is a seductive lie dominating the high performance world right now. It tells you that sleep is a design flaw, that rest is for the weak, and that the secret to success is waking up at 4 a.m. to freeze yourself in a tub of ice. And it turns exhaustion into a status symbol somehow. But let's be honest, for most people that isn't high performance. That's just a nervous breakdown with amazing marketing. And it does look great on social media. It looks productive. But really, 99% of people look at that and see it as just a performance, you know. And if you wake up at 5 a.m. to grind, but your biology is shattered, you're not really a high performer. You are walking like a living corpse, running on stress hormones and espresso. And if you need 3 double espressos just to have a polite conversation, you're not hustling. You're borrowing happiness from tomorrow to pay for today's misery. So let me be completely clear here. Hustling on 3 or 4 hours of sleep might sound like a badge of honor, but it's a lie that will burn you out faster than any challenge you face. Sleep is not a luxury. It's the foundation of everything. Trying to grind without rest is like trying to drive a Formula One car without fuel. You look great in the driveway, but you're not going anywhere. So we need to stop obsessing over this massive launch at 5 a.m. and start obsessing over the landing. The battle for your focus, your bank account, and your sanity is not won at 6 a.m. It's won at 6 p.m. the night before. And it's easy to play this game, treating sleep like a financial debt that you never intend to pay back. And honestly, I thought I could borrow energy from tomorrow, push the balance to the weekend and somehow cheat the system. And I thought I could haggle with my own physiology, but your body keeps a perfect ledger. And right now, most of you are paying compound interest on your own exhaustion. You can't out-negotiate biology. Eventually, it just shuts down the factory. So today we're going to fix the machine. We are going to talk about the 6 p.m. pivot. We are going to bring the clinical science of CBT for insomnia, which is the gold standard for sleep, and we are going to build a system that makes you wake up on fire, not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed your biology to do its thing. So let's look at the standard operating procedure for most ambitious people. We wear exhaustion like a designer brand. Oh man, I only got 4 hours last night. I'm such a beast. No, you're not a beast. You're compromised. When you are sleep deprived, you are not resilient. You are biologically drunk. Your emotional regulation evaporates. Your ability to learn new skills drops by 40%. And let's look at the data more closely. University of California researchers did a fascinating study. They took a group of healthy adults, deprived them of sleep for one night, and put them in an MRI machine. And they showed them some emotionally triggering images. So here's what happened. The amygdala, which is the ancient lizard brain, that's the part of you that screams fight or flight, was 60% more reactive. But here's the even scarier part. The connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, which is the higher thinking CEO of your brain, the part that uses logic and reason, was completely severed. Do you know what that means? It means that when you're tired, the CEO has left the building and the security guard is running the company. And this security guard is panicked. So when you snap at your partner because they breathe too long, when you make an impulsive business decision because you just want the meeting to end, when you find yourself eating a bag of chips in the pantry at 11 p.m. like a raccoon, it's not because you have weak character, it's because you are biologically bankrupt. and you're trying to run a Fortune 500 company with a toddler at the wheel. So we have to understand why we sleep. And for a long time, it seemed like a complete waste of time. Mother Nature is efficient though. So why would she design us to lie unconscious for 8 hours where we can't eat, reproduce, or defend ourselves? And it seems like a design flaw. But in 2012, we found the answer, and it's called the glymphatic system. So here's the mechanism. Throughout the day, your brain cells are firing. They are metabolizing energy. And just like a car creates exhaust, your brain cells create waste. This waste is toxic. It literally includes proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. So when you're awake, this trash piles up. It's like a house party that's gone on too long. And the floor is sticky, there are cups everywhere, the signals can't get through. And this is brain fog. But when you sleep, something incredible happens. Your brain cells literally shrink by 60%. So this opens up the streets between the cells, and your cerebral spinal fluid rushes through like a high pressure hose, and it washes the brain, takes out the trash. But here's the catch. This cleaning crew only works on the night shift, and they only show up in deep sleep. So if you cut your sleep short, if you drink alcohol before bed, which does sedate you but doesn't let you really sleep, the cleaning crew stays home. And you wake up with yesterday's toxic waste still sitting in your living room. And then you try to hustle through the toxicity. You try to be creative through the fog. And it's physically impossible. It's like trying to cook a gourmet meal in a kitchen that hasn't been cleaned for a week. So if sleep is the foundation of everything, why are we so bad at sleeping? Why do we treat our bedtime like a suggestion? Because we've lost the art of transition. Most high performers treat the day like a sprint that goes until they pass out. You work, 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 stress, stress, and then you crash into the pillow and somehow expect to sleep. And this is not how it works. You cannot go from 100 miles per hour to 0 in 3 seconds. You need something called a braking distance. And this begins at 6 p.m. The 6 p.m. pivot is a conscious switch. From 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., you are the hunter. You are aggressive. You are focused. Your cortisol is high. That's good. That is how things get done. But at 6 p.m., you must switch. You must become the healer. You must shift from output to input, from expenditure to recovery. If you carry the hunter energy past 6 p.m., you are positioning yourself to have a bad sleep. You are walking into your bedroom wearing a suit of armor and wondering why you can't get comfortable. You need a hard stop. You need a gate. When the clock strikes 6, the hunter clock's out. Now let's talk about the real reason you don't sleep. It's not because you aren't tired. It's because you are rebelling. The phenomenon has a name. It's actually called revenge bedtime procrastination. And this happens when you feel like you have no control of your daytime life. You spend all day answering mails, pleasing your boss, serving your clients, dealing with demands. You feel like a managed asset. So when the night comes, you refuse to sleep because staying awake feels like freedom. Staying awake until 2 a.m. scrolling TikTok is you saying, this is my time, you can't tell me what to do. So there's another phenomenon, the fear of missing out. You think if you go to sleep, you're missing out on life. You're missing out on the content. I want you to tell yourself this truth. I have all day tomorrow. Whatever you want to watch, whatever you want to scroll, whatever movie you want to binge, it will still be there tomorrow. The internet is not going anywhere. You can binge watch the entire series tomorrow if you want. You have permission. But tonight, sleep is the priority. Because if you steal that time tonight, you are stealing the quality of tomorrow. You are trading a diamond for a piece of glass. It's a bad, bad trade. And if we want to master the 6 p.m. pivot, we have to identify the enemies. So there are 3 things in your house right now that are destroying your recovery. And the first one is light. Your eyes are not just cameras, they are biological clocks. So they contain sensors designed to detect the sun. When blue light hits your eye, it sends a signal to your brain, okay, it's noon, wake up. So when you look at your phone at 10 p.m., when you have those bright soul-sucking LED lights on in your kitchen, you are literally screaming at your brain that it's the middle of the day, wake up. You're suppressing melatonin by 50% and you're confusing your biology. The second is thermodynamics. Your body needs to drop its core temperature to sleep. If you are in a hot room, if you eat a massive spicy meal right before bed, your body cannot cool down. You're trying to park a car that is overheating. The engine won't shut off. And number three is the open loop. Now, this is a big one for people that are constantly busy or studying throughout the day or entrepreneurs. You lie in bed, you close your eyes, and your brain goes, hey, did you send that invoice? What if the client hates it? Remember that awkward thing you said back then? And this is called the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain hates unfinished tasks. It loops them to ensure you don't forget. So if you don't close the loops before you lie down, your brain will keep you awake to protect the data. So how do you fix that? We don't use willpower because willpower is a battery and by 10 p.m. it's empty. So we use architecture. So we'll go into that later. But right now, I want to give you the science of cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. Now, this isn't just advice. This is the gold standard used by sleep doctors to rewire the brain for sleep. So we're going to use two specific protocols to take back control. So the first is stimulus control. Right now, your brain is confused. You treat your bed like a multi-purpose activity center. It's a cinema, it's a dining room, it's an office, and occasionally it's a place to sleep. So your brain has associated the pillow with thinking, tasking, and scrolling. So we need to break that association. So here's the rule. The bed is for sleep and sex. If you're going to scroll on the phone, get out of bed, go to the living room, go to the kitchen, sit on the floor. Do not do it in your bed. So if you're lying in bed, awake for more than 20 minutes, worrying about your life, get out. Leave the room, read a book under dim light until you are tired. Then try again. You have to teach your brain, when my head hits this pillow, the world shuts off. And the second one is sleep restriction. This is also from CBT for insomnia, and it gives us another hard truth. You cannot control when you fall asleep. Okay, you can only control when you wake up. Most people try to fix their sleep by going to bed earlier, and that doesn't work. You just stare at the ceiling, okay? So you fix your sleep by anchoring the wake-up time. So pick a time, let's say 7 a.m. No matter what happens, even if you fall asleep at 4 a.m., even if you feel like garbage, you get up at 7 a.m. You drag yourself out of bed and get light in your eyes immediately, because this builds something called sleep pressure for the next night. So if you sleep in until 10 a.m. because you had a bad night, you just stole the sleep pressure from tonight. So you guaranteed another bad night. So set your anchor, 7 a.m. Hold the line. Your body will hate you for 3 days and then it will thank you for the rest of your life. So how do we support this? Right? So here's the protocol, the sunset 6 p.m. pivot protocol. So phase one, the digital sunset. So 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you don't have to go online completely, but you must shift the type of input. Stop the hunter work, no emails, no Slack, no aggressive problem solving, and crucially, kill the overhead lights. Switch to lamps, switch to warmer lights. Make your living room look like a jazz club, not a hospital operating room. Signal to your biology, the day is ending. Now, phase two, the thermal trigger, right? So between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., we need to hack the body temperature. So paradoxically, the best way to cool down is to get hot. Take a hot shower or a hot bath and turn yourself into a lobster, because when you step out of the heat, your blood vessels dilate and the heat dumps out of your body, your core temperature plummets, and this temperature crash is a biological trigger. It knocks you out faster than any sleeping pill. And phase three, the brain dump. Do not take your anxiety to bed. It's a terrible bed partner. So at 8:30 p.m., take a piece of paper, not a phone, actual paper, write down every single open loop in your head. the email, the problem, the worry, get it out of your head and onto paper. Tell your brain it's written down. We are closed for business. Give your guard permission to go off duty. So we need to change the frame. Stop looking at sleep as dead time. Stop looking at sleep as the thing that gets in the way of your success. Sleep is the success. Sleep is the performance enhancer. Sleep is the steroid, and sleep is therapy. So when you sleep, you're not doing nothing. You are rebuilding muscle. You are consolidating memory. You are processing trauma so you don't snap at your kids. And you're cleaning toxins. You are upgrading the software. The millionaires who last are not the ones who sacrifice sleep. They're the ones who honor it as part of their strategy. They build rituals around rest so they can operate at peak levels, make better decisions, and outwork the competition with clarity. Sleep is your secret weapon, not the enemy. Respect it, own it, and watch how your energy and results multiply. An F1 car does not win the race because it never stops. That car blows up. It wins because it has the most efficient pit stop. Sleep is your pit stop. If you skip the pit stop, the wheels fall off. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So here's the simple mental shortcut. If you forget everything else that we've talked about, remember this numbers game, okay? 3, 2, and 1. So 3 hours before bed, no food. Give your digestion a break. If your stomach is working overtime on pepperoni pizza, your brain cannot clean itself. You want the energy to go to repair, not digestion. So the kitchen is closed. 2 hours before bed, no work. Close the laptop. The hunter is dead. If you haven't finished it by now, you aren't going to finish it well. So let it go. Trust that you'll be smarter tomorrow. And 1 hour before bed, no screens. This is the non-negotiable. Put the phone in another room. Buy an alarm clock. They're cheap as anything. If you look at your phone right before bed, you are inviting the entire world into your bedroom. You are inviting stress, the comparison, the noise, the demands. Keep the sanctuary of your bedroom sacred. So here's the challenge. Tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, when the clock hits 6 p.m., make a conscious decision. Say out loud, the shift has happened. Turn down the lights. Put the phone away. Get into your body. Prepare the vessel for recovery. You think you need to hustle harder? No. You need to recover much deeper. Hustle smarter, not just harder. The version of you that is well rested, the version of you that has a clean brain, the version of you that isn't running on cortisol and caffeine, that version is unstoppable, but you have to build that version. And you don't build it at 5 a.m. You build it at 6 p.m. Take back the night. Own this transition tonight and watch what happens to your life when you sleep like a pro and you wake up a complete legend. Let's do that together. See you in the next one.